Bygone. Part 7. Leaving. Someone had scrawled something on his forehead a while back. Ghost letters now, indecipherable. His left earlobe had been bitten off, the seams along his joints separated and frayed. He wears brand new sweatpants and a novelty t-shirt that says, "I'm not stupid." No shoes, no socks, no hairpiece. The bot, shoulders back, smiles at tire kickers and answers questions from potential bidders. The Hilltown auction doesn't have many. Tryon, arms crossed, pretends to contemplate a bid. Her dust-covered leather creaks in the empty warehouse. "Reskin this one," the geezer next to her says. "Could be made presentable enough." She glares at the man through jagged bangs. "You could use a nip and tuck yourself." The man harumphs and moves on to the next lot. Tryon tugs at the bot's waistband and inspects the hacked-back skin around his crotch, an attempt to downplay the worn and stained edges. The metal chassis beneath is dull. Where human sex parts would be, a cracked plastic insert covers an interface panel. "Work the sex trades, huh?" She lets the sweatpants snap back. "That's right, yes," he says. "Purchased at auction 6 years, 2 months, 19 days ago. Previous to that, I was a personal assistant to the CEO of, looks like 6 rough years. I served a variety of functions at the Starlight Entertainment Center." She prods the clear plastic bag on the folding table next to him. "My, you've got all sorts of attachments," she says, mock scandalized. "I served a variety of functions at the Starlight," he says again. She rubs road grime off her glasses with a dirty thumb. "How are your stats?" "Mobility is at an overall score of 68.2%. Left knee is disengaged. Right knee is compensating. Spine, elbows, and wrists are functioning normally." She offers a non-committal "OS and firmware are 6 years, 2 months, 19 days out of date. Kept you offline, huh?" The Starlight staff was less than attentive to maintenance issues. "You're very diplomatic." "As I mentioned, I was a personal assistant previous to my engagement at the Starlight." "You're an old model who's seen better days." She assesses the bargain hunters roaming the makeshift auction hall. Lots of overalls and broken boots. "You're going to wind up working out in the field. That'll be the end of you." The bot shrugs his 62.3 operable shoulders. "My next assignment will likely be as challenging as my last." Tryon smiles and taps her boot against his calf. "Goodbye, bot." "Goodbye, miss." She steps out into the sunlight, the featureless wall of the abandoned regional food processing plant stretching off into the weedy distance in both directions. It will collapse soon. They all will. "Hola, Tryon," Sev says. Her bot stands guard over her old Shaanxi Marauder, strategically casting his shadow over the bike's vinyl saddle. "Hola, hola," she says, squinting up at her polished steel friend. The robot tilts his head, fine motor movement around his mouth suggesting a smile. "How was the auction?" he asks. "Nothing in the boonies today, Sev," she says. "Met one of your cousins in there, though. Entertainment veteran. Looks like he's been rutted half to death." "Yikes." He holds out her helmet collar. Tryon snaps it around her neck and adjusts her glasses. She puts her palm on Sev's chest plate. "Hot." "You're a hella handsome piece of work, you know that?" "I know." She powers up the low-slung bike, the anti-grav hubs lifting the cycle into riding position. She hugs the chassis as Sev climbs on behind her. She throttles the bike forward. Humming electrics, wide spokeless rubber on loose gravel. Her favorite sounds. The cat navigates the workbench debris. Hip rotors, wrist assemblies, face bits, computers, torches, dirty dishes, multi-tools and monotools. He climbs into a cardboard box next to Tryon's vise and nestles into a salvaged wiring harness. His name is Daniel. Tryon throws her helmet collar across her workshop and slaps at the light switches. She glances at her calendar, a retro paper thing so old it's useful again. The month is lousy with sharpied X's. Tomorrow is circled, and inside the circle it says fuck. "You still leaving?" "You know I am," Sev says, pulling the bay door closed. Tryon drags her feet across the concrete floor to her bed, a mattress ringed with boxes of bought parts and precarious stacks of salvaged tires. She flops onto her comforter, burying her face in the mass of superheroes printed on it. She groans into Superman's chest. Easy, her bot soothes, retrieving the discarded collar from under the workbench. He hangs it on the bike's handlebar where it belongs and pauses to stroke Daniel's back. Both the cat and the bot could do this indefinitely, but there's work to be done. Sev gently corrals Daniel aside and attempts to tame the workshop mess. Stop fucking with my stuff, Tryon grumbles, rolling onto her back. Stop fucking up your stuff, he counters. He holds up 2 spare fingers that match his own. This is valuable mech, Tryon. These things are military grade. You gotta keep cat hair and gunk out of the joints. Flip yourself off for me, please, she says, rummaging through a box by her foot. She extracts an anti-grav hub she stripped off an old Nippon bike. Tryon jabs at it with a multi-tool. Have you made any more plans for up there, she asks, eyes on her work. Haven't thought that far ahead. He sweeps his magnetized palm across the bench top, collecting metal shavings and stray screws. I don't want to overthink it. I just want to go. You think you'll get shit from anybody? I think I'll get shit from lots of buddy, he laughs. I don't want to overthink it. I just want to go. Try and prise at some aluminum shielding. It pops free and spins across the room. You could come with me, you know, he says, crouching next to the Marauder. It's not like you're not invited. He lies on the concrete and explores under the bike with her grandfather's paint-spattered flathead screwdriver. It's your trip. You don't want to go anyway. Tryon snaps and releases the spring clamp on her multi-tool. You always leave me. So you keep telling me. He chips at road gravel wedged into the bike's undercarriage. A chunk of asphalt refuses to budge. The bot grumbles, emoting his version of aggravation. Our infrastructure continues to deteriorate, he declares. They pry and chip in silence. Daniel pays them no mind. You're my favorite, she mumbles. You're my favorite, too. I worked hard on you. And look how well it paid off, he cries, pointing at himself with the screwdriver. She laughs. He sits up with a programmed groan. What about you? What are you going to do after I'm gone? Pine. Uh-huh. She twists the core free from the hub assembly and places it on top of her mini-fridge. That's a good core. Uh-huh. Tryon dumps the detritus of the mechanism back into the box and strips off her road gear. She crawls under the comforter and Sev turns off the overheads. He switches her old drafting lamp on and continues organizing her workbench. She flips through a few different entertainment streams on her dev, a never-ending torrent of time kill scrolling across her heads-up display. She sighs and takes off her glasses. Come to bed, she says. I'm lonely. In a minute, he says. In a minute, he does. Tryon accelerates through downtown Prescott, pointing the bike towards the highway. Main Street is dead quiet. Like most of western Massachusetts, most of New England, most of the United States and the world, it is mostly abandoned. They ride south towards Bradley Air and Space in silence, Seb's head looming over her shoulder. She pushes their speed a little more than she should. If Sev were capable of worry, he might worry, but the highway proves to be tolerably maintained, clear of large obstacles, even patched here and there within the last decade. Tryon focuses her attention on the asphalt, the wind, the fat tires bouncing and kicking up debris, anything but the bot wrapped around her like a roll cage. She hurls the powerful machine down the road. Abandoned cars line the Bradley connector median, pushed aside and rejected. The more valuable models were stripped or hauled away a generation ago, leaving these orphans to collect pollen and sink into the grass. Tryon knows damn well they're picked over, but still can't resist eyeing the junk. Scavenging is practically her only hobby. Near the security checkpoint, she switches the power plant off and rolls the Marauder up to the rear bumper of a waiting transport van. Sev disengages from the frame and holds the bike upright. Kids in the back of the van gawk at Sev's chromed presence. They wave and he waves back. Tryon wipes her glasses on her shirt and flips them off. They burst into giggles and flip her back, 3 howling children and 6 tiny birds pressed against the rear defroster. The line moves briskly, security loose and perfunctory. When Tryon rolls the bike up to the checkpoint gate, they encounter a guard with a scuffed tablet and a sunburned neck. Sharp old bot, he says. You rigged that yourself? Uh-huh, Tryon answers. I'm no skin fan either, he says, opening a blank form on his tablet. They're fucking creepy. Mm-hmm. Air or space, he asks. Space, she replies. She opens Sev's transport docs on the bike's display and flips them to the guard's tablet. He scrolls through them. You only got one ticket booked. You leaving this pretty boy behind? Tickets for pretty boy. The guard squints at the bot and consults his tablet. I'm not seeing any property transfer here. He's an independent. The guard raises an eyebrow. So he's leaving and you're staying? Just you and me on terra firma. She grins aggressively at the man, all teeth, and stomps her boot heel on the blacktop. Maybe we can repopulate the planet together. He raises the gate and waves them through. There is a medium amount of bustle at the pickup drop-off area, maybe 20 or 30 people, enough to make Tryon anxious. She parks the Marauder in front of a large video monitor playing an Exodus Corporation ad loop. Traffic, crowds, and advertising all in the same day. Jesus. Goddamn humans, she gripes. You're a pestilence, Sev agrees, dismounting. I feel like a pestilence. You'll live. I feel like I might not. He waits on the curb while she fidgets with her glove. He has no luggage. Neither do most of the other departing passengers. It costs hella extra. Aren't you coming in? Nah, she says to the glove. I gotta get back. I got stuff to do. The hell you do, he laughs. I don't take off for another hour. Keep me company, then you can watch the rocket launch. Rocket launches aren't very interesting, she says, peering at the cloudless sky. He laughs again. It's a good laugh. She coded it herself. How are your stats? High 90s across the board. Damn straight. Another pause. Don't take shit from anybody, she tells him. I will miss you, Tryon, Sev says. The girl scrunches up her face and says nothing. He steps back. Go. She goes. Tryon rips down the outbound lane of the Bradley connector. She forgets her bike is even there. We've got a long night ahead of us, Daniel, she whispers, scooping the cat off her stool and stealing his warm spot. She keys the hardware lock on the workshop terminal. Passphrase for security level 1, passphrase for security level 2. Tryon scrolls through her archives and loads a massive file into active memory. The cat situates himself on her lap while progress bars jog across the screen. She cups Daniel's tiny head in her hand and waits, surrounded by broken things, locked in a cinder block box in an abandoned building on an abandoned planet. Daniel headbutts her wrist. The screen goes black. Her best friend's voice chirps out of the speakers. Hola, Tryon. Hola, 8, she replies, waving a salvaged hand assembly at the screen. We've got work to do.